Oh, it's been excellent. Yeah, I've managed to watch a bit of football. Yeah, how's your week been?
Thrashed to death at work. Football's my salvation. And I have to say, I loved watching that. And I know not just because I hate Man United, because I do, but that Leipzig Man United game, I just thought that's what football was all about. You know, Leipzig were going for it like a bunch of schoolboys. It was end-to-end stuff. It was drama till the final minute when that guy nearly put in his own net. I enjoyed that football game.
Man United thought they had enough minutes to come back, but it turns out they didn't. Time ran out. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too. I know it's a kind of sick sense of humour, isn't it? I quite like seeing, the old established clubs of Europe, fall a bit. I have to say, I wanted Real Madrid to lose to Borussia Mönchengladbach because, I don't like them very much. They seem to. I went to the Bernabeu, and the first thing that amazed me was that they pipe in the music. They play it through speakers. The fans don't contribute any. And I remember when they booed Cristiano Ronaldo, I thought, would Liverpool ever boo Mo Salah? It's that sort of.
Are they the glory supporters of Spain?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Man United of Spain. Okay.
Yeah, it was a similar journey. Anyway, another lovely, exciting weekend of Premier League football to let work fall away in the background and forget and lose ourselves. And there's a game tonight. It's a game tonight because you've got Leeds West Ham on tonight. And what's your thoughts?
I think Bielsa's doing okay. I think he's gonna. I'm thinking maybe 3-2 because they're conceding goals as well. So I'm thinking 3-2.
3-2. And what do you think? Bielsa, isn't it? I mean, he's been put forward like Manager of the Year in Europe, hasn't he?
He's a bit like Jurgen. A bit like Jurgen, a bit like Jurgen and Pep, between the pair of something different. And he sits on a bucket as well. Everybody loves that.
Yeah, fine, whatever. But he's no more qualified than Scott Parker in terms of the last year or so. And Scott Parker, to an extent, hasn't had the as much backing. Why isn't Scott Parker in there? Because he's called Scott Parker, not Bielsa. How do you pronounce it?
Bielsa. Bielsa's done it international. Scott Parker, he might be able to. He might have the ability to, but he needs to start learning languages if that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, but isn't it based on performance in the last year and a coach of the last year, or?
No, last year. But Leeds were better than Fulham last year.
Yeah, I thought Scott Parker came. Anyway, I'm just championing people like Chris Hughton and Scott Parker when they're good old English managers, and I think they should have got more credit. But anyway, Leeds West Ham. Yeah, you're right. Maybe we should dial out now because that could be quite a big game, couldn't it? 3-2, you reckon? Yeah, I think it's going to be big.
Goals, definitely goals.
I'm not sure. I think Leeds are a bit fragile at the moment, and West Ham seem to be getting better and better. I think it's going to be. I think it could be even the other way around, 2-3. I'm going to go 2-3 to West Ham. I think West Ham will get an away win there.
But Leeds have got this Brazilian, is it right back? What's he called? Rodrigo. They've got a new one. I forgot his name, but they've got a new Brazilian. He's been tearing up a bit. So some players are coming in.
They're good and exciting, but a bit gung ho for a savvy team like West Ham. Moyles has got a savvy team there. And Leeds are a little bit like a more educated Leipzig. They just go for it and leave themselves exposed. I just think West Ham will have a bit too much savvy for them. But there you go. But tomorrow, it's strange, isn't it? You kind of talk about the Northwest and you talk about London football, but really big game in the Midlands tomorrow. And to be fair to those guys around that Black Country and Midlands area, they don't. It seems to be overshadowed, and yet there's what's really quite a big humdinger of a game tomorrow. Wolves at home to Villa, both I think in the top half of the table, both looking like quite good teams. I mean that for the city, or let's say the West Midlands, because the people of Wolverhampton would go crazy if I talk to them about being Birmingham, but they're just up the Hagley Road really. What's your thoughts? Wolves, Villa, another exciting one, possibly.
Is there going to be any fans in the stadium?
I don't know, actually. Well, the Midlands, don't know. But
I'm thinking draw. I'm just thinking draw. I don't know why. I'm just thinking draw. It's one of them derbies. It'll be a tight.
Villa gone off the boil. Villa have gone off the boil a little bit. They were looking unbeatable for a while after they leathered your boys.
Oh yeah, 7-2. Devastated about that one, but that was a one-off. Do you know when lightning strikes twice?
It's like they've peaked for the season now and they're going downhill.
Yeah, that's their trophy. They'll remember that when they get relegated. They can have it.
But yeah, God, you know when I was talking about years ago before you were born last week, and I think I was, I might have been in college. This would have been the 1980s, and I went to watch Wolves. And the Molineux was the most broken down, smashed up ground I've ever been to in my life. It was wrecked. You know, there was building site all around it. It was open all over. And then the owner of the Steelworks, Jack, got hold of Wolves and turned it into a spectacular ground. But before that, it was almost like derelicts. It really was a desperate place. So it's wonderful to see it return.
Is Man United's roof still leaky? I've never seen a story about their leaky roof. Have they fixed it yet?
Where? Wolves?
Old Trafford.
Old Trafford. When we get to Old Trafford, it's half falling down these days. It's it's a bit dilapidated.
It looks.
And obviously, it's not in
the train station.
Yeah, it's true. I tell you what, though, I had my COVID test in their car park when I was on the way to the Trafford Centre about 3 or 4 months ago. And I was quite shocked. All I was following it on the route finder, and I thought, shit, I'm getting near Old Trafford. I'm getting really near. This is bad. And then it was in the car park just behind there. So, but yeah, it used to be a nice ground. Don't think they've invested in it. It's classic of their owners, lack of investment. So Wolves Villa, we both reckon it's going to be a draw. Reasonable score: 1-1, 2-2.
Yeah, I was thinking
1-1. Yeah. I'd go with that. I think it could be a 1-1 draw too. Newcastle back in action after being wiped out by COVID at home to West Brom. Slaven Bilic under a lot of pressure now. I like the guy. He's, if I was a newly promoted team and I had Slaven Bilic as the manager, I think he was a good guy. Fans seem to like him, but they're in trouble there, the Baggies.
So is he like the new Sam Allardyce or the new Megson? That guy who, when teams are nearly relegated, they bring that guy?
Yeah, maybe. Gary Megson. Yeah, he used to. Gosh, I'm amazed you remember him because he was quite a while ago. Because he was a player there, red-headed guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it? Newcastle West Brom? What's your thoughts?
I'm thinking Newcastle. Steve Bruce. I don't know why. I just feel like they've got better players than West Brom. It might be there. Is it in Newcastle or in West Brom?
Yeah. But I think Newcastle's tier 3. I don't think there's fans in the ground.
All right. Where are West Brom in the table? The relegation zone.
Yeah, right at the bottom. Right.
Yeah, Newcastle's there.
In fact, they're second bottom. When you look up Sheffield United, I can't believe I'm saying Sheffield United 1 point. After last season, Sheffield United 1 point. Then you got West Brom on 6, Burnley on 6, Fulham on 7, Newcastle 14. And Newcastle played a game less. So, yeah. So, you ever been to St James's Park, Ash?
No.
It's 20 years ago, most teams used to have their grounds right in the town centre, but a lot of clubs are sold off the ground to move to a more exciting stadium further out. Whether you're Southampton, or I remember going to Reading and it was right in the city centre. And Newcastle is still there. It's in the city centre. You walk up there from the Eldon Square, and it dominates the whole city. And when you think about the whole of the UK, there's very few cities that only have one team. You know, think about the ones in Birmingham. There's even 2 in Bristol. You know, 2 in Liverpool. There's only 1 in Manchester. You know, there's 2 in Glasgow. You know, but there's only a city the size of Newcastle. Actually, Leeds, yeah, Leeds is right. Bradford's not far away, but yeah, you're right. Leeds has only got 1 team, and Newcastle, and a kind of similar siege mentality. The supporters in Leeds and Newcastle, and people think it's because they're northern, but maybe it's because literally everybody wears black and white. When you're there on Saturday in the whole town centre, man, boy, woman, girl, they're all wearing black and white. It dominates the whole city because there's no other rival fans or no issues or no one poking at them. The whole city wears black and white. It's different. Like, you know, if you're in Liverpool, you're red or blue, and, you know, you might get a bit of stick from some gangs or some tough guys or whatever. So, you know, some of the little kids and ladies might be in, you know, and some of the older guys like me might be a little intimidated wearing the football shirt out in Liverpool. But in Newcastle, everyone wears it. It's kind of interesting.
Well, don't let these Leeds people fool you, because half of them, right, half of the people in Leeds support Man United. I went to school with them, so yeah. People with a Man United top, you can walk through Leeds and nothing will happen. It'll be okay. They'll think you're one of them.
Yeah, you can walk through Shanghai and you can walk through Singapore, and everyone will have a Man United shirt on as well. But there you go. Like, they're big in Japan as well. You know, walk through Tokyo and they're all Man United.
Oh, yeah.
Newcastle, West Brom. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I feel for it. I'm worried that Slaven Bilic could get the bullet Sunday morning, Monday morning, something like that. I think Newcastle will win. Again, a bit like David Moyes. Steve Bruce is a savvy manager. He's a savvy manager. He knows how to play. I think they'll have miles too much for West Brom. Right, here we go. Man United at the dilapidated, falling down Theatre of Fools, Old Trafford, versus Man City.
Man City are going to tear them apart. It's going to be embarrassing for Man United. It might even be, I'm not joking, it might even be about 5, because the confidence is down. They've just got put out by Red Bull, so what have they got left? Maybe this is their cup final, but I've just watched them beat Marseille, so yeah, there's no way Man United are winning this game.
Oh God, I hope so. Oh God, I hope so. The last couple of years, though, United have played really well in the derby, and when City have been all over them in the league, you know, massive wins. You know, when City won the league by a distance, and United were probably the only team who did a double on them that season. I still worry about it. United seem to bounce back. Solskjaer, when he's at the gates of doom, and he's facing the abyss, which has been 5 or 6 or 7 times already this season. Somehow there's always redemption, and he finds a way out of it.
They've got VAR on their side, and they might have VAR on their side in this game as well, because Solskjaer's on his last legs.
Yeah, I know he's been on his last legs a load of times, and then he's pulled, like at West Ham, where they were going, it was going, and then they clawed it all back.
That's the 4 West Ham teams compared to the Man City team that they're about to face today. So Pep would have watched.
I hope so. I hope so. I really hope so. Yeah, I think City will win, and I think you're right. It will be 0-3, but there is this bad feeling in my stomach that United have all the ability on the day to, just contain Man City, and a bit like Leicester, if Rashford and Martial are playing up front and they've got runners down the flanks. Yeah, I still fear it. If City can't put a couple of goals past them relatively early, the longer the game goes on, the more Man United, I think, have a chance of beating them.
Aguero's back.
Sorry?
Aguero's back.
I'm not certain I'd start him, though. He is back, but is he a starter? Has he got 90 minutes in him in the Manchester derby?
Even off the bench, he's probably going to get a goal. It's Aguero. It's a big game. These are the sorts of games where it just scores goals.
I'd love it so much if City were the team to send Solskjaer over the edge. That would be bliss. So you go 0-5. I'm going to go 1-3. 1-3. 1-3.
Yeah, in fact, I don't know. I think Man United are going to get a goal because for some reason they always get penalties recently. So why is this game any different?
That's why I put that in. And yeah, but I think it's the day of Jesus. I think Gabriel Jesus is going to scoring boots. It's a hat trick for Gabriel Jesus and redemption for City. Yes, get in. Are there any other games tomorrow? I can't think of any. Oh yeah, there is. There's Everton Chelsea. That's quite a big game. What the hell's gone wrong at Everton? They were going to be in the first few weeks of the season. I thought they were going to challenge for the championship, but
they're still a new team. They're still settling in. So look at the other new teams settling in, like Arsenal. Look at the state of them. Everton are in a far better position. They're doing okay. Still new players. So.
They got out the blocks fast, like Villa, Southampton, Leicester. Just fallen away a bit. I thought Ancelotti would have a bit more steel. I thought they again. I don't know. Not sure what's gone wrong there.
He might need one more transfer window. January around the corner. He might have plans. He's a good manager.
He's a very good
manager.
Write him off, yeah. So what do you reckon? 8 o'clock Saturday night, which still feels weird. Everton, Chelsea. What do you think?
I feel like it's got draw written all over. Ross Barkley playing against his own team. About like 2-2 or something.
No, Ross Barkley's at Villa, isn't he?
Oh, is it gone to Aston Villa? I thought it was yeah, it's gone to Aston Villa. That's it, sorry, yeah. Yeah, about 2-2.
I'm not sure. I think Chelsea are playing really well. They're improving all the time. They bought some new players, and I think they're improving all the time. You think it's a draw? No. I think Chelsea will win that. I think they'll win that. Maybe 0-2 is my forecast.
Errol says it's going to be 2-2 as well. Errol reckons it's going to be 2-2.
Errol. Love you, Errol. Right, okay. We're going to have Errol and I are going to have a right arm wrestle tomorrow afternoon. I'll have got in all my gigs. I'm looking forward to, because, I'm out early for work. I can dictate my hours. So I'm going to have done loads of stores and I'm going to be home ready for 5 o'clock. Errol can't get out of his store till about 6. So I've given so much stick before he won't know about. I'll have given it the big one to United. So by the time Errol gets on the air, he'll go, oh, what's happened? I'll have dissed his team to hell. I love it. And he hasn't got the right to reply until about the second half. But hello, Errol.
It's going to be a bloodbath. By the second half, I'm thinking maybe a couple of goals up already.
God, I hope so. Please let it be the day. 2020 has been a real crap year, but this would really take it out in style if City, really stuck it to United. But let's see. It was funny because my second name's Shaw, Ian Shaw, and I remember when City and United were both interested in Luke Shaw as left back, and City were in a dire straits for left back at the time, and I really, really wanted City to sign Luke Shaw just so I could get a City shirt with Shaw on the back. United fucked me over even on a player transfer like that. I've been waiting so long to get Shaw on the back of my shirt and actually have it as a player, but one day maybe there'll be.
Shaw used to be an excellent player when he played for Southampton.
He was.
He moved to Man United. I don't know what happened. The way he's eating more food, he got put weight on, and yeah.
I think he found the donuts and the ale because he was an athletic-looking lad, and now there's a great picture with James Corden in a Man United strip, and actually you put the two of them together, and Luke Shaw and James Corden don't doppelgangers. They look the same. James Corden and Luke Shaw. He's a bit.
He goes to that Harry Ramsden's opposite Old Trafford. It's got lifetime membership, so yeah.
I reckon. Yeah, he goes for a Harry special for that big fish, but says, one of the things I haven't said about City United, it really pisses me off. What Sky? It'll be on Sky, yeah. So who's going to be in the commentary box? That that knob, Gary Neville. He's going to be on there, and then they'll wheel out, Phil Neville. Sorry, Gary Neville, isn't it? Yeah. Gary Neville giving it the big one all the way through on the commentary. No comeback. And who will probably put in the studio? They'll probably put Roy Keane. And this is they'll put Micah Richards in there, and he's a good lad, a really good lad. But they'll give it a tandem motion. They'll have Roy Keane give it the big one.
Hopefully McManaman's there, to add a bit of flavour.
How dare he say, Aguero's put on weight and stuff when you've got Luke Shaw? It looks like James Corden playing left back for United. I mean, it's bonkers. Look inside. I've never forgiven him for how can Sky Sports employ a pundit who, as a professional footballer, admitted he went out to finish the career of a fellow professional? Imagine that happened today. There's someone said I was going to maim him.
Well, yeah, I should have been jailed, really. If I went and did that, the police would be all over me.
Yeah, but
everyone thinks United are going to win 3-1, and Bruno Fernandes is going to score 2 goals.
He's in cuckoo land, la la land, Errol. No chance. Bruno Fernandes, do me a favour. Actually, he is quite a good player. It's the other 10 who are crap. But
I think his average is not as good as Coutinho. He just looks like a good player because he's playing with a bunch of idiots. Put Bruno Fernandes in a decent team, he would be exposed.
But do I have to put up with Neville and Keane giving it the big one tomorrow afternoon? Why do I have to put up with that?
Neville, definitely. He's definitely got an invite. He does my head in because when he's on the commentary, he always goes, ooh, sick of it.
Mind you, there's one worse, and that's McManaman. Come on. I mean, the guy's an imbecile. Yeah, just of all the choice of all the pundits you've got, and you put, Steve McManaman on there. Maybe it's a Scouse accent. Maybe if we talk Scouse, we'll be on Sky Sports these days. And if we gob out the car window at some, sorry, you're not going to like this, Ash. We'll get a new contract. Anyway, on with Sunday. Southampton, Sheffield United.
The 2 striker teams, 2 red and white striker teams. Southampton definitely, because Sheffield United are useless these days. They can't win a match. So to say Sheffield United, that'd be insane.
Yeah. I think Southampton I keep expecting them to lose it and it all disappear, but they don't seem to. David Hasselhoff, he's arrived from David, managing a Premier League team. Don't Hasselhoff and all that, and look how good they're doing. But have you ever watched that movie When Saturday Comes with Sean Bean?
No, I'm more of a horror violent thing.
Well, Sean Bean is a massive Sheffield United fan, yeah? And in his 20s or whatever, he did this movie When Saturday Comes, and Sean Bean plays a Sheffield United player. And you're going to like this. If you check out the movie, which is one of my probably my second favourite football movie, When Saturday Comes, there is one outstanding football movie you've never seen. There's only one Jimmy Grimble. You ever seen that?
I think I did a few years ago.
It's outstanding. It's all the Manchester music from the 90s and this little lad who's a City fan. But anyway, When Saturday Comes for Sean Bean's a passionate Sheffield United fan. And it's about this kind of living the dream. He's a striker. He's a bit of a bad boy, kind of loses his way a little bit, but eventually comes back for Sheffield United and scores the winning goals against Man United.
Oh, so, right, okay.
That's a good reason to check out the movie.
Excellent film.
So if you're watching, check out When Saturday Comes and check out There's Only One Jimmy Grimble. because there's this great line at the end of the movie where Jimmy Grimble, this lad, has scored the winning goal in this, schools cup final or whatever, and he's being signed up by a scout. And this the United scout comes along and says, I want to offer you a contract for United, and he goes, no, I'm not interested. And he says, why not? Big Tiddler says, because I want to play for City. It's Ray Winston's in it as well. It's a great movie. There's only one Jimmy Grimble. Anyway, I'm promoting that. I'd like comments if anyone's watching. What are your favourite football movies? Only one Jimmy Grimble. When Saturday Comes, Escape to Victory. I can't think of any more. Any more?
The hooligan ones. What are the hooligan ones? Green Street.
Oh yeah. What's that? Yeah. Isn't the guy who's the Hobbit in it? With the big eyes. Who was in Lord of the Rings? He was in it. Green Street, wasn't he? Yeah.
I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
No, there you go. Anyway, Elijah Wood. That's the man. Anyway, right. Okay. Meanwhile, studs. Anyway, whatever. So I think Southampton have got too much for Sheffield United, even though I'd like Sheffield United to get off 1 point. So I think Southampton will win maybe 2-0, 2-0-ish. I think Southampton are pretty impressive with David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Now, here's a game. The Palace, Crystal Palace, the Eagles, against Tottenham. And I don't know if I've explained that, because even though I've supported City all these years, it's a little bit like Man City is my wife, but if I have a mistress on the side, it's Crystal Palace. Ever since I've lived in England, I met these boys who support Palace, and I've got a season ticket there, and I go and watch Palace. I stand in the Homesdale. It's like years ago, and when I used to stand in the Kippax, or you might have been in the Kop when they were really big. And I love going to Selhurst Park. It's fantastic. The atmosphere is awesome. Crystal Palace Spurs. I looked at this fixture and I thought Palace are going to do it. Palace, it's like Jose Mourinho, the master, the guy who puts himself as the master of contain and attack. I think Roy is the ultimate master. And I think Roy is going to out-tactic Jose Mourinho. He's going to show, it's basically Roy will walk off that field tomorrow and he's going to go, yeah, little boy. I've just got this. I think Palace are going to do Spurs like 2-0, and they're going to do the Spurs what Spurs boringly do to lots of other teams. And I have said this before. If you're Newcastle or with Rafa Benitez last season, or Palace, and you're trying to stay in the Premier League, or everything Allardyce used to do or Warnock used to do, I get it. I understand your fans want you to stay in the Premier League. Winning the Premier League and playing like a Warnock or an Allardyce team, that's a whole different entity. Trying to win the Premier League, knowing that maybe Glenn Hoddle, if he was 25, possibly wouldn't even get in the team because Jose would bench him. I don't know. It doesn't feel like love to me. It feels like prostitution. So I think Palace, Roy will walk off the field as the old master over the guy. 2-0. What do you reckon? We're talking bollocks or what?
I think that's insane. I think Harry Kane's got too much for that Palace defence. And then that's before mentioning Son, Lucas, and the other guys. It's Crystal Palace. I can't remember who their defender got. Who's their top defender? It was Sarko, but he's a bit of a madman.
They've got to play Gary Cahill, and they've got to play Kouyaté. If they play that combination at centre back, that's critical because they're mobile centre backs. Sakho makes crazy mistakes. The rest of the three central defenders they got, I call them the widow twankies, Scott Dann and Kelly, and just they're totally mobile. If Roy puts out Kouyaté and Cahill tomorrow, Palace will be all right.
Son is on fire. He's playing like the South Korean Cristiano Ronaldo. Lucas, whenever he's on the pitch, he does stuff. He makes stuff happen. What's he called? The Dutch guy. I can't say his name. Was he from PSV?
Oh yeah. For Spurs, Hoyding plays like Vinny Jones. From Southampton.
No, he's got a similar name to Wijnaldum, but he's a winger. Tongue twister.
Oh yeah, we'll come back to him. Well, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
that guy. So they've got wingers. And that's before mentioning Harry Bale.
When Son gives it the big Julia Roberts smile and or whatever.
It does, but he's obviously got.
He's done national service. He's the boy next door. This guy was one of the first in line for £250,000 Bugatti. You know, he's a showman. He looks like a little boy. You know, Son, isn't he lovely? He blows his money on a Bugatti. It's just, smoke and mirrors.
I think behind the scenes he's got skeletons in his closet. Definitely, he's a dodgy guy. I think he might have even killed people. Stuff happens in certain places.
I reckon Luca in front of the defenders for Palace will contain him. I think that's going to be the game of the weekend, surprise of the weekend, possibly. Anyway, right, here you go. Throw the ball, Ash. Fulham. Come on, it's like, Lions, Christians in the arena. Fulham, the Christians are thrown into the arena, and then these bunch of wild, savage lions that haven't been fed for about a week. Liverpool.
All right, well, similar to Man United and Man City, it's going to be maybe 5-0, but we're not going to concede. Then again, VAR is against us, so it could be a dodgy one. All right then, 3-1 Liverpool. Mo Salah's definitely going to score. He's on fire.
Will Fulham even score?
It's a what?
Will Fulham even score?
Because
Matic looks good at the moment.
Yeah, I think they'll score just because, not because they're a good team, because VAR are against us. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah, but Fulham ain't good at penalties, are they?
All right, okay. Well, they might give him 2, to make sure they score.
Lookman took for Fulham. Apart from the penalty, though, he looks like a good loan signing, to be fair. And I'm mystified why he hasn't made it in Europe. I think he's quite a good lad. But they're not famous for penalties. They might have VAR might have to give Fulham 3 penalties to score one. But
and do you know what? They probably will. But I think they'll get one. Yeah.
I think Liverpool will murder Fulham. It could be like some kind of record score. And I love Scotty Parker. He's a great guy, great player. I wish him so well. I want British managers to do well. I really do. And, I look at Scott Parker and I just think, come on, he should be, maybe England manager in 10, 15 years time, coming through the ranks. I hope he doesn't get fired. I mean, he is like walking into the Lions' den with Liverpool. Like,
he could be England manager soon.
11 players against 20.
Gareth Southgate didn't do nothing at club level, so Scott Parker has got every chance to be England manager.
Yeah, you could be right. He feels the part for an future England manager, doesn't he? One day, 10, 15 years down the track, Scott Parker, England manager. Maybe, don't know. Right, okay, penultimate game. This is an interesting one. I'm going to be well controversial in this, but I'll give you the first crack. Arsenal against Burnley.
Oh, I think Sean Dyche is going to do something. He sees Arteta on his last legs. He sees that he's panicking and thinks, you know what, now's the time. Now's my time. And he might even all right, score draw, but a close one, I think. Yeah, very close.
Oh, no, outright. I know. Hey, Errol doesn't agree with me or whatever, and you think I'm mad. And I'm Palace beating Spurs. I think this is going to be the big one of the weekend. I think Arsenal are going to get beat by Burnley. I think Burnley will win. And I think Arteta's in. Again, I think Arsenal will stick with him, but I think the Arsenal confidence is low. Don't underestimate them. Even though, I know City turned them over, but they're capable. Sean Dyche is a really, really good manager. I always say that when Roy eventually retires at Palace, I'd like to see Sean Dyche go to Palace. They've got a little bit more money, a bit more flair. Again, Sean Dyche, Scott Parker. I can see Scott Parker England manager. I'm not certain I can see Sean Dyche England manager.
No, not Dyche.
No, you're right. But wouldn't it be good to see him continue and prosper? That's my controversy. Second controversy. I think it's going to be bloody Sunday. Palace are going to beat Spurs. Big surprise. I think Burnley are going to beat Arsenal.
Yeah, I think Burnley might beat Arsenal. Yeah, they've got every chance. They're a better team right now. They actually are.
So what do we say on Saturday? On Saturday night, Everton Chelsea, we thought could be lively. But then on Sunday night, and this is weird, I can't get my head around games on a Saturday night and a Sunday night. So you've got Leicester Brighton as well late on. So you've got Arsenal Burnley at 5:15 and then Leicester Brighton. Leicester Brighton, surely that's going to be exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think Brighton might do something. I've been watching them ever since they played against Liverpool. Thought, right, these lot are okay. And I think they're better than Leicester. Look what Leicester did against Liverpool. They got torn apart. So out of the two, I think Brighton are slightly better.
I hope so. Because again, it's this, like Scott Parker, Graham Potter, isn't it there, yeah? Graham Potter?
I don't know.
I think he's a high potential young manager. I just have this passion to want to see English coaches do well. Potter, Parker, two-piece, Potter and Parker. I've got to hope they don't get fired. I hope that they prosper. Brighton want to play the game. This is me ranting about Spurs and Jose Mourinho. I mean, do you really want to win the Premier League playing like that? Or do you want to be a purist? Scott Parker, even though that he's not playing the Rafa Benitez way, and Rafa Benitez is god of football. Yeah, he kept Newcastle up, but by parking the bus, I think there's something to be said for the likes of Scott Parker or Graham Potter at their still wanting to play football, even though they know they're fighting for their lives. This inherent desire to want to play football, to an extent, I feel like makes you. Maybe a future England manager, a future big club manager, those two, with their philosophy, Parker and Potter, what could they do if they got a chance to run a United, a Liverpool, a Inter Milan or Real Madrid or Barcelona? What could they do with their passion for the football, their belief? Everyone's talking in Europe at Nagelsmann at, is it Stuttgart? Yeah, Stuttgart, yeah. No, Leipzig, yeah? And they beat Man United, yeah. But I mean, I watched them, and his team play like Fulham and Brighton, really young managers with this passion for football, this flowing football, and yet because he's at Stuttgart and he's an international guy, he's getting all the pundits. He's the future Jurgen Klopp and all that sort of stuff. He'll go to Dusseldorf next and all that sort of stuff, yeah. And he might go to City, but. What about Potter and Parker? They want their teams to play exactly like, Nagelsmann and
the second Scott Parker gets into Europe with a team, he'll get the same as what the Stuttgart managers did. It's just he ain't got there yet. It might be he's still young. Maybe one day he can take a team into Europe.
I really hope.
Up until then,
I think the Premier League is tougher. And I've said this before, you look at the Spanish and particularly the French leagues and the German leagues, and there's only 2 or 3 bloody good teams. So you get a Stuttgart, and they've got a chance of getting in that top 4 in that European place. Whereas the Premier League is good all the way down, really good teams all the way down. And I think that, some of those lower half teams are really well run, really exciting football. If you put Stuttgart against Brighton or Fulham, might they win?
Yeah, it would be a good even match. But now you know why Steven Gerrard is a genius, because he could have gone and managed any of those teams, but what he did was he went to Scotland, 2-team league, went to Scotland. So yeah, so he's going to be managing out there in Europe.
I think you're right. Gerrard will finally, someone will see off Celtic, and it's going to be Steven Gerrard, and he will never be forgotten for that in Scotland. That's an achievement in itself. To put Celtic in their box, to stop them doing, is it 10 on the trot or 9 on the trot or whatever it is? Yeah, Gerrard will remember. That will make his future. But what's quite nice, again, a young Leeds manager, you've got Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard, and they're making it. Now, they were better players than Potter and Parker, but I'd still love to see those lads win. You got 4, guys of similar age that should win. And again, I challenge it. When I watched Leipzig, and yeah, of course I wanted them to beat United, and of course it was an exciting game because they did, but they played real gung-ho, schoolboy stuff in the same way Parker and Potter believe in playing a game. And I just think the Premier League is tough. If you had Brighton or Fulham, I reckon in the German league they'd finish in the top 8. In the Spanish league, the top 8. In the French league, the top 4. But in the Premier League, they're battling for relegation. And
so Scott needs to.
The Premier League's good all the way down.
Scott will need to learn that there's more to football than football. Like there's all these dirty tactics and all this time wasting and stuff like that. And you see the teams at the top; they all know it. They all know that stuff. Do you know the all the sneaky stuff? And
yeah,
Scott's got a lot to learn.
Pep and Jurgen are really good at that. Pep Guardiola, his teams have always been a bit dirty. Watch the way Busquets and Barcelona and all those guys played. And you watch Gundogan, you watch Fernandinho, you watch De Bruyne, even Sterling. It's clear that if the opposition had a bit of a break, they'll pull them back, and they're not bothered. Yeah, I get it. I get all that savvy, but I love football. I love the purity of it. And yeah, I get it, but I don't want managed like that. Gareth Southgate is running England not like that. And if we win the Euros or win the World Cup with a beautiful team that believe in the beautiful game, like Sir Ralph Ramsey did, hey, call me an old fart. I would be so. If Capello had won something with England, playing bloody boring football, like some of the Italian victories, I would not be half as excited as if Southgate, like Sir Ralph Ramsey, played flowing football, and we won something playing it the beautiful way, the Johan Cruyff way,
the Jurgen Klopp way.
Someone's going to point out that Jackie Charlton and Nobby Stiles were dirty bastards, and actually, the Sir Ralph Ramsey, did know how to chop the game up.
Jack Charlton.
Yeah, him and Nobby Stiles didn't take any prisoners. So
no, they were like Roy Keane. Everybody was like Roy Keane back then.
And someone else will point out that Holland team that played the perfect football didn't actually win the World Cup. They got beaten by a German team. When Gerd Muller was up front, and you had that magnificent total football Holland team, but they didn't actually make it. Yeah, you're right. I'm a dreamer. A dreamer, and bloody Jose Mourinho will win more trophies, and I'm a dreamer, and I'm still not satisfied. I just want. I don't resent Liverpool winning the title last season. They to an extent, they played some beautiful football. You see that forward line going forward. I can't take it away from them. I'd much rather see that forward line attacking with all that stuff than Mourinho parking the bus. I don't know.
He's a bus driver in his spare time.
Yeah, he is. It's just football in the purest way. Are we at the end of the fixtures? Hang on. We got. That was Leicester Brighton. Is there a game on Monday? No, there isn't. That's it. So in summary, what do we know? Leeds West Ham, we reckon, was going to be a humdinger. You thought Leeds were going to win eventually, like 3-2. I thought it was the other way around. Let's see what happens. Wolves Villa, tough game. I think we both went for a draw there.
Yeah, 1-1.
Newcastle, West Brom. I think we both thought Newcastle had a bit much for West Brom.
Yeah, Newcastle.
Man United, Errol, against City. You and I both thought it would be an outstanding victory for City, but I'm still cacking my pants. United are very capable, and Solskjaer seems to be a man who, he's holding
Houdini.
on by. Yeah, he's Houdini, and I've got a bad feeling. And then Everton, Chelsea will be a real goodie. I can't remember what we said there. I definitely felt Chelsea had too much for Everton, and I was worried about the 3-4. I think you thought it would be a draw.
Yeah, draw. Like 1-1. Yeah, 1-1.
Southampton, Sheffield United. We both felt Southampton would win, even though it's a shame Sheffield United deserves some joy. This was the big one where you thought I'd lost the plot. I think Palace Spurs. You think I'm a joker.
Yeah, it was a good comedy thing. It was like good joke.
Fulham, Liverpool. Yeah, we're talking cricket there. Up the score there. Arsenal, Burnley.
Burnley could pull a shock right there.
Yeah, we both feel passionate that Burnley could do it.
Yeah, they're going to get points anyway.
Yeah, Leicester, Brighton. I can't remember what did we say. I was worried.
I was thinking Brighton.
Sorry?
I was thinking Brighton would beat Leicester. Maybe 2-1 Brighton. Yeah.
I hope so. I just think Leicester's got a bit too much savvy, but I think Brighton will get at least a draw. And that's it.
Solid.
Finito, Rafa, Benito.
Oh.
Oh, cheers.
All right.
On the weekend, life in general, the Uniforce. We'll be out of Europe by Monday.
Just like will?
We'll be like United. We'll be out of Europe by Monday.
All right. Okay. Excellent. I can't wait. I'll be gloating.
We'll call it Errol's it, or whatever it is. Thursday, Errol. See, Thursday.
Oh yeah, Thursday. The Thursday gang.
The Thursday gang. Cheers, Ash. Have a lovely weekend.
See ya. All right, you as well.
Adios.